Samsung's highest-end flagship has just got updated officially to One UI 6.1. Well, almost. Daniel here from SamMobile TV, and we have got One UI 6.1 on our Z Fold 5. So today we're going to show you everything that we've found out about it to get you ready for its launch globally on March 28th. Yes, I just got my update on my Z Fold 5 for One UI 6.1. Now, concurrently to this, I've also got a video about One UI 6.1 on the S23 Ultra. So please, once you're done with this one, go check that one out as well, depending if you have one or not. Otherwise, stick with the Fold 5. What you've got with One UI 6.1 is pretty much Galaxy AI and some others. Galaxy AI is absolutely the headline of this update, and it's what everyone was wanting to know, which Galaxy AI features made it. Well, let's go through Samsung's release notes list and go through what features actually have made the cut. Starting with just that, Galaxy AI. The first thing that you'll see in Samsung's release notes is circle to search. The much hotly debated feature about whether it would come to the older versions and when it would come, it's here now with One UI 6.1. It is a great feature too. What I really like with the Fold is the bigger internal display actually gives you a good canvas for this feature to work. What you'll notice is that you press the nav bar, it brings up the circle to search menu, you circle something and it searches it. Simple as that. The next part of this update is the translate phone calls with call assist. It's a fantastic feature. And in the phone app, in the settings, is where you go to turn it on. In here, you can find all the toggles and the settings you need to make it work properly, including the different languages you need to download for the caller that you're talking to, and the ability even to add different callers to different languages. So it will automatically transition to that language when you need it to. Very, very clever in that way. You can also mute your voice and mute their voice, which is quite clever and intuitive, so they don't have to double up on sound. It's just the translated voice that they'll hear and you'll hear. Parallel to that is the new interpreter sort of app feature, I guess you could call it. In the quick panel, you'll see it, and when you go into it, it basically looks like Google Translate, but it's actually a little bit more intuitive. Samsung have built settings in here to allow you to push to talk if you need to, or leave that off and have it be conversational. Up to you. Of course, this is where you get all the languages and the different voice packs. But the thing I really like the most is the actual interface itself, because there's a little option where you can flip the card for the person you're talking to, especially if you're talking opposite them. It's really genius. You talk with the microphone, it translates to the other side, both in text and in voice. Really clever. Part of this translation AI is using the camera's scan feature. You can actually hover it over text, and then you can actually select the text that it's recognized and then translate that. So if you're out and about somewhere and you are looking at a book, for example, and you wanted to translate that back of that book into whatever language you want, you can do that here. Really clever and really simple to use. The thing I really like is the summary with websites, and that's all to do with Samsung Internet. Had a bit of a slight hiccup. It wouldn't work on my version of One UI 6.1 on here. It's probably just because I've got a bit of an early version and not everything's been updated in terms of apps. So I'll wait for the 28th to make sure this works. But as a demonstration, the S23 Ultra's version was working fine. And I just absolutely love what this can do, because it will basically translate websites for you and just not actually overlay, but like properly format the website as well. And even things within the website get translated, like tweets, for example. And the summary part is also really cool. If you don't have time to read the whole website, if it's too long, you can summarize what's in there and give you the cliff notes, both in standard and detailed. Love it. That sort of summary stuff extends into Samsung Notes, and Samsung Notes has been a revelation when it comes to this, from what I use it for especially. I love that it's on the Fold too, because that bigger canvas, I love being productive with Samsung Notes especially. What I really love here is you can paste something in, like the blurb from the back of that book that I was looking at before, and then I can play around with this. So if that blurb is too long, can summarize it. Or if I want to sort of structure that blurb into something more formal, I can hit auto format and then formalize it into meeting notes or headers and bullet points, whatever it is I need. I can do that here. Sensational. Absolutely love this. And there's so many different options that you can sort of swipe between as well, and then hit replace, and it takes the place of the old stuff straight away. Really cool. There's the checking spelling as well, which for a book you'd expect it to be good. And there's also translate too. So lots of different options in Samsung Notes with its AI. Samsung, with the voice recorder, have also built transcription and summary. So great. If you've got a voice recording where maybe you and someone else are talking or having an interview, you can transcribe that interview and it will break it down by speaker who said what, because it recognizes the different voices. Fantastic. You can see there the different speakers that it's got and what was said. Then when you hit summary, it will actually then summarize all of that into sort of a few different bullet points, or depending on how much is there. Then you can copy that out and send that in an email or add it to notes or social media, whatever it is. It's quite cool. I really like the strawberry drink that I enjoyed on my cruise. The other thing Samsung have done is have built AI into the keyboard. And I really like what they've done here with that, because the keyboard has live translate, where if you're conversing with someone, you can translate on the fly, both what you're saying to them and what they're saying back to you. And the other part that's really cool with this is the ability to have different chat styles. So if you don't want scammers spamming you all the time, let them know with your words and then use chat style to change those words, which is, I think, really cool, because that way you don't have to be aggressive, or you can be a bit more professional. It sort of generates a whole list of things that for you to replace your text with, even emojis, which is something. And then you just hit replace and it changes that, and then you're free to send it off. Awesome. Now the next one part of Galaxy AI is probably the most talked about one, and that's the generative edit. This is where you have a picture and you can use Galaxy AI to remove things or change the photo. Inbuilt into the image editor, you'll see the Galaxy AI icon. What you'll do is you click on that, and then you basically have free reign within boundaries to do what you want. So you select the subject that you want to remove, for example, my daughter, but you potentially might not want to remove it. You might want to just make it smaller. So you can drag the things down, hit generate, and using Galaxy AI, the cloud-based service that it is, it will generate the background from the missing space that was there. You can remove the subject too if it's not to your liking, and again, it will do the same thing. Or you can use the little angle slider to sort of change the angle of the photo, and then the gaps that it creates, it will fill in with generate as well. Now, it does take a while, so you may just have to be a little bit patient to get this done, but hey, works, and it's all cloud-based, so why not? When you do save a copy of it, it will leave a little watermark down the bottom just to let people know this was Galaxy AI. And then closely related to that is Samsung have got generative wallpapers now. So again, boundaries have been created here. It's not just enter whatever prompt you want and see what happens. There's categories to choose from in the wallpaper menu that you then have little prompts that you can customize certain elements of. So you've got colors, you've got landscapes, you select the things that you want, hit generate, and then using AI, it will give you multiple different options that you can choose between and make your wallpaper. It's really nice. All of these options can be found in Samsung's advanced intelligence options inside advanced features in the settings. So go check them out individually, because you can go straight to the one you're looking for from this menu. Now in the next subheading of the release notes, there's create epic images. I'm not going to cover everything here. I just want to hand select a couple of things that I think are noteworthy. The thing that I sort of found is the AI recommendations have become a lot better. They were obviously present in One UI 6, but they were not contextualized nearly as well. Now it's actually based off the photo, not just a subset of standard responses that it gives you. So for this one, it gives me erase reflections, and it works really cleverly in the way they do it. I also like the improved copy and paste options that Samsung have given us. So if you long press on a subject in a photo, you can copy that subject that it extracts, and then in your next photo, 3-dot menu, hit paste from clipboard, chuck it in there, and then it takes you straight to the edit option, ready to save. Pretty neat, pretty easy. The one I'm really excited for though is the improved search option in the gallery. I always found it to be a bit cumbersome searching for photos, just with the amount of categories that it maybe didn't have. I really like the bottom where it gives me the option to search via shot style. So single take, portrait, video, it's put them all there in a bit of a bracket, and I really like what it's done. Thumbs up. In the customization options menu, again, not going to go through everything in here. You can see it's a very vast, extensive list. Just want to highlight a couple that will definitely impact your usage. The new wallpaper edit functions have been brought in to One UI 6.1 on the Z Fold 5. So what you can see in here is the ability, if you have a subject as your background, you can create some sort of depth effects with colors or blur, whatever it is you like. And you also have some frames that you can add in to frame your subject. Choose your color, choose your background, chuck it in there. It's kind of like a pseudo way of putting in the always on display lock screen, because you can have it black if you like, but it's not the same. Samsung have not brought the always on display from S24 to Z Fold 5 because it's not capable. There's also the option to add widgets to your lock screen and always on display, a lot more as well. You can see when you long press on the lock screen, you see the widgets. You can add the widgets to there, and then they'll appear on both the lock screen and always on display. Inside the settings, there are some things that you should know as well. The main one being the new Protect battery has made its way to the Z Fold 5. So the ability to limit your battery to just 85% is gone, and the new stuff will be the ability to have it be basic, adaptive, or I say aggressive, but it's definitely not that in the menu. It's just what I'm remembering it to be. But basically choose your option in here, and you have these options to help extend your battery life out beyond, because it'll use some AI to sort of control how it's charging it. Now, before I look into the stuff that I found that's not in the release notes, I wanted to look for any fold specific stuff, but I couldn't find any. It seems as if any fold specific updates will be reserved for later. Everything that you've got in here now is just what you've already seen with S24 series, and has sort of made its way into the Z Fold 5. What I did know is the improvements to animations is definitely there. Samsung, the stuff they did to S24 has absolutely made its way back to Fold 5, and if you watch the S23 Ultra, there as well. Just the way it sort of responds to your touch and your movement, it's so much more interactive and intuitive, and it's going to feel like a big freshen up for anyone who's got these phones already. You'll notice it for sure. Inside the camera, in the camera itself, none of the camera features from S24 have actually made it back to Fold 5, except for single takes, new ability to take any of the rear cameras with the single take function. That's the only one. No dual recording. They've still got super slow-mo. Everything else that we know from the S24 series is not going to be there except for the single take function. Inside Camera Assistant, there is the new auto monitoring function, which gives you the ability when you have headphones plugged in, whether it be Bluetooth or cable, to monitor audio live when you're recording video. That's a useful feature. That's very niche, not going to be for everyone. The other one, which I didn't record, but I've got other footage of, is the instant slow-mo, where you long press on the screen and it'll slow that portion of the video down. That has made its way to the Z Fold 5 and S23 series as well, just for your reference. So look, that is everything that I've been able to sort of dig up from One UI 6.1. They're the main points, headlined of course by Galaxy AI. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, because this is a big video to make, getting it out as early as I possibly can for you all to enjoy. Let me know which One UI 6.1 feature you're looking forward to the most on your Z Fold 5. Get ready for that download date, March 28th. Hopefully goes live everywhere. Come follow us on our other social platforms. We're everywhere you can find on social media. And of course, go visit our website, SamMobile.com, for comprehensive Samsung news and coverage. See you in the next one. Thanks.